Okay folks, beanoblack here, and basically just making this video because the idea that I made a video about the close objects. You basically just look at the last video before this video, and then look, I'm sitting around here and guy makes a comment to the new video that the idea there's no sound. Well, I didn't even play it. Well, I did play it before I uploaded it. I had sound. So then I started getting interested. It's like, well, what the heck? Is it something they don't want us to know? 2008 WL64 on the 20th, coming up here on November. We are 6 days out. Hauls ass at 34.02 kilometers a second. 122,472 kilometers an hour. 1.1 kilometer big possible. Smallest it could be is like 500 meters, but more than likely, if they got 1.1 kilometers, most everything has been undersized. Okay, so then I was looking around and I found something that pretty much looks exactly that it's going to hit, but not until 2030. It's 2011 SR5. Let's show you some data on this, especially since the analysis based on 187 observations spanning 6.6393 days. Okay, they just did this on the September 19th to September 26th. It was close to us. Okay, now I went ahead and spun 2011 SR5 forward on the JP player. Now the JPL on that date of the 23rd that they're worried about, and we'll go back and hit that on the 23rd of 2030. Is going to be 0.982 IU. Now, when I play around with the motion, you know, like this and so forth, the only thing I could figure that they're worried that it would hit, because look at the distance between, that it, just by eyeball viewing it, and the IU, right? Well, magnetism is what I'm starting to wonder. But then what makes me wonder about this, since, boom, Venus, Mercury, Earth, it's like an arc, you see? Are they worried about it locking in on Earth because of a magnetic pull? Okay, that's what I'm wondering about, because we're going to be direct in line with the sun's normal path through the universe. Okay, we're intersecting there, the Earth is, in 2011. Also, this is in the arc of 2011 SR5. Mercury is in its orbit. So is this somehow it? Because that's the only thing I could see by looking at it. It's the idea that, okay, playing around with it, it's not an alignment really. But then the idea, looking in the well, that's the only thing I could come up with, is the idea that bang, bang, Earth's in sun's magnetic pull, Mercury's in the pull of 2011 SR5, and that's the only thing I can come up with by looking at it. Now, you look at their deal, and you look at Earth object, their program thing, but basically this is the risk, Earth impact risk summary, impact risk, okay? They got 0 down here on Earth, distance, and they actually give you the hours and minutes on that day, the 9th month, 23rd date, 0.52. So they got it down to a gnat's ass sometime in that area. They got a distance on our Earth 0. Okay, impact probability 3.7 to 0.9, and they're also worried about the idea. The size is not very. It's a pretty decent size, not the biggest thing we've seen coming around. But that's why I was sitting here looking at, thinking about this week, because we go to RSOE EDS, and we got such a massive, in 6 days from right now, a massive 34.02 kilometers a second, 122,000, way bigger and faster than the one I was wondering about down here on the 9th of December, the last video. Then I went and looked at what was close on the Fireball network, and basically had something that was close. Basically it was, there was no audio to it, but we had this come by close on, if I can move around here, the idea that on the 12th, we had at very early in the morning, on not even 1 o'clock UTC Zulu, not even 1 o'clock Zulu, UTC, it was really early in the morning, it was this close. We had an object, 0.081 IU. So go back and watch my last video on, because I didn't get any audio to it. For some reason they took it off. Something happened. Okay, so then you need to go watch it, because basically I had no audio showing you this, the idea that I'm looking at this. Found a new page on, because I found something with some address for the old, pre-2006 projections. So then I went to this impact century risk table, and wham, what looks at me in the eyeballs, and okay, everything's far out, right? Yeah, I'll probably be dead. Bam. Well, I'm planning to be around 2030, but even more than, there we go, 2013. It's got 512 potential impacts. They only found it in 2011. It's 2011 UG169. So you got to check out and wonder about that. I think I got that on. So that 169, we don't have to worry about that till 2013, okay? And we don't have to worry about this until September 23rd of 2030. And what is up with September 23rd, 2030? Because the only thing I can see is some kind of magnetic thing of the arc, the alignment arc, and also the arc of the sun, because that's the path of the sun is the yellow line, and the Earth will be on that. Will it add magnetic pull, and are they worried about it dropping down because it moves that way? It's kind of be coming towards the Earth. Are they worried about that dropping in the well or something? There's something up, because otherwise they wouldn't have this on the 9th 23rd date, 9th month, 2030. Earth, 0 distance, and have it listed on the Earth Impact Risk Summary. And it's only one risk date that only has this date. And they did this many observations on September 19th when it was close by here. And yes, it was close by here. If you look at the last video I just made with the one that didn't have any audio, it was close by here. This either September, you'll see the date because you'll see 2011 SR5. I got it pulled up and played it. So pay attention to this. In 2042, there's something that has 6 potential impacts. Like I say, this is scary. I mean, one that really has to be kept an eye on now, besides the one that we know about, there's one that jumps that's been found in 1937, 47, somewhere like that. We also have this that just got found in 2011. Okay, because it's got 512 very many potential impacts. Okay, and it's going to be beginning in 2013. We've got to keep an eye out for that. The rest of the stuff is a long ways out. I don't think any of us are going to be hanging around and living that long. The idea, though, that we got 2030 here, and 2042 for some people that might live that long. All right, potential impacts is 6 on that one there. You can go check that out. Okay, this is all from NASA. Century Risk, Near Earth Object Program. Okay, so that's the stuff that you need to be keeping an eye on. Oh, recently observed. Okay, right. So objects not recently observed in 2048. We got something there. That 2007 Viking 184. And otherwise, 2000 FT3, that would probably be coming along with the other one. Potential risk of 127 potentials, but that's over time for a long time. Who knows? But you got the year of 2013 listed. Got 2019 listed on this. 2020 listed on that. So there's lots of stuff to be keeping an eye on out there. 2013, and we've seen that comet hit the sun. So there's also, besides the Earth getting hit, we always have to worry about. But the idea, I'm not worried about that. It's the idea how hot will we get, because the sun is into the supergiants, and we're going to keep getting close to the sun, and we're going to be getting closer to Rigel Cantaris B. So we got lots of issues to start thinking about, known about, and NASA's not letting us know anything. Okay, so you got stuff here that they go way, they got tons of data that they go way off into 2106. They're way off into the future on stuff. They are looking out there constantly at stuff. Okay, so when you go way up on the data, we have lots of stuff to be interested around 2048, 2015, 2013, 2020. There's constantly some stuff to be wondering about, and then the idea that we're going into the supergiants. So just all of a sudden ran into some new data tonight. So letting you guys know about it. Let me pause and go back. Now, I can't really remember on 2000 WL64, 2008 WL64, but I'll go to RSOE again in a minute and take a look at that. But you do have a nice alignment on the 20th, okay, and it's going to be closest on that. So it's got a nice alignment that it's going to be either above or below Earth there. But it's got a big alignment with Venus, Mercury, and the Earth there. Plus the idea that Mercury is pretty much looks like on the sun's magnetism that day. So I'm pretty sure we'll have some pretty darn good earthquakes that day. So as you can see the alignment there, it should be above or below us there. Which way you want to look at it. Above or below us. And flip it this way, and the idea that you're not going to miss the alignment, it's still there. So that's going to be interesting. And let's see it on ROSE. And okay, this is the original one I'm worried about, is the idea that it's so doggone, I mean, it's not tiny. It's not as big as the 2.1, so it's a 1 kilometer small, I mean a 1 kilometer smaller, but the speed is much faster. 122,472 kilometers an hour. And if you can see all these other objects and you remember all other speeds, they were just in the 50,000. It's not the double the speed and the size, and then it's not that far off. But the scary thing is, see this? This is a miscalculation on RSOE, because check this out. Okay, emphasizing the size first, and then I'm going to give you, the speed. Emphasizing the speed, sorry folks, I'm not going to retape this. Emphasizing the speed, 76,104 miles per hour, 3402 meters per second, 34.022 kilometers a second, 21.14 miles a second, and it's a kilometer in size. And the red light that I've got is it's got condition 7, okay? It's got condition 7. And it's got an IU of 1786, and that's the perihelion, how do you spell the perihelion? Let's put the P. That's 1001786 IU, 0.0001786 IU. It's hella close because it's only 16,000 miles. Watch, it's only 16,602 miles. Okay, that's all that is. And once again, on the November 20th, this is 64, 2008 WL64. It is 1.1 kilometer at the largest that we know of, 34.02 kilometers a second. Okay, which is 21.14 miles per second, folks. How would you like to have anything that could go that fast? 21.14 miles per 1001. There's 21.14 miles per second, folks. 76,101 miles per hour. It's only going to be 16,000 miles out. It's going to be closer than YU-55. We know that. You can all remember the data on that. That's the idea that it's less than 16. I mean, it's more than 16,000 miles to the moon, folks. So this thing's going to be coming whistling by. So it's going to do something. So basically, I've got about 2 minutes left, and I'll show you the last go by the sun, because if you look at the last video that didn't have any audio, I was showing you this, or the idea it looks like we have two comets. I got this blown up 400%. We still got that one object by the sun, and as you can see, it sure looks like we've got a small, which is hella humongous, because the Earth, folks, is only like probably like a little. Let me get something, an idea in the mind of what the size of the Earth is. The Earth is something smaller than even this little speck right here, okay, in comparison to the size of the sun. So we got something that looks like it's got a pattern of about, you can see the circular right there, of something right there, and the supergiants might be whamming into the back of the sun right there. Alright? So there's a good possibility that some of this stuff in the supergiants with these guys and this BS about nothing, no comets are hitting the sun. Well, we know, we've seen video from even Dutch being smart enough to show that one Soho a shot of the comet hitting. Now this is another one of the V's, folks, and it looks like a comet, okay? And this was today, this shot was taken around And for the hell of it, since I got some time, legal disclaimer.